Good morning. Good morning. As you get here, make sure you say hello and let me know that you're here. Good morning as I go live in all the places. All right. I think we are set. Give me one more thing. Whoops. One more thing to do. Right. I think. Okay. All right. Beautiful morning this morning. Oh, good morning, Angie. So good to see you. Glad to have you here this morning. Sorry, I'm just a few minutes late getting on here. I got distracted with some messaging from some clients and was doing that, and all of a sudden I looked at the clock. Oh, I gotta get this thing going. So here I am. Good morning, Carrie. Good morning. Great to have you here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into today's affirmation. All right, hold on just a second. All right, today's affirmation is I choose to show up fully and take inspired action. Every step I take, no matter how small, moves me closer to my dreams. And I think this one came up for me is because just the other day I was in a group and I was talking about micro actions and how it's the little ones that really compound over time. And somebody was asking me some questions about those. And so it really got me to thinking that a lot of times, we feel like if we're not doing big things, making big leaps and doing what we feel in the moment is something big, that we don't even recognize how we're moving the needle. And, I've heard this analogy so many times, but if a boat is on the water and they have all of their instruments all set up, they've got their GPS or whatever the hell it's called on a boat, right? I know I'm supposed to know that, but I don't. They have everything set up and it's the trajectory exactly where they're wanting to go, right? And they start off. But if their gauges are off by just a micro step, they get long-term get so far off course that they're nowhere near where they wanted to go. And the same in an airplane, right? They've got all of their stuff set up so they know exactly where they're going to go. But if there's just a slight difference by a millisecond, a milli whatever, just a slight difference, it gets completely off course. And I had a conversation with someone in the group the other day, and she reminded me of this in a little bit of a different way. But I thought, that's what I really need to be focusing on, is that the whole thing is, it's the little steps that we take every day that chart our course, right? It's not those big leaps. Now, they do make a difference, but you don't get to those big leaps usually until you've got those micro things done, right? So when you can show up fully for yourself and whatever it is that you're doing, and then take inspired action, even those little tiny things that you decide make a huge difference. Does that make sense? Because every step you take, no matter how small, moves you closer to your dreams, your dream job, your dream business, your dream life, your dream relationships, right? So if you look at like a relationship, when one of the reasons I'll just share that some people, their relationships don't last is because they do all the micro movements until they seal the deal, they get married, they move in together, whatever it is, and then they stop the micro movements. They stop the things that drew you together, right? And it's the same in your business. You start a business with a purpose, a mission in mind, and you do the micro movements and get that inspired action and you do those things, but then you get to a place where it's like, oh, I don't have time for that or whatever. And your business starts going backwards because remember, the only thing constant in life is change. So we're either changing on purpose, setting our dial wherever it is we're wanting to go and staying true to that course with our micro movements. Now that doesn't mean you don't pivot at some point. I mean, we all get to a place where it's like, is this where this is effective in my business? Is this where, yes, Carrie, so true. Is this where I'm not really staying true to my values? Maybe there's a point you get to where it's time to pivot, but that's just where you stop and you reassess your direction and then you set your course again, right? So just because you start something doesn't mean that's what you always have to do. You can tweak it and change it as you grow and become someone a little bit different. You can redirect. So there's nothing wrong with a redirection, right? And as a matter of fact, it's probably good to at least once a year sit back and reflect and decide, am I on the right course? Am I getting the right inspired actions? Am I doing the things to move my business forward if we're talking about business, right? And then you reassess and you say, okay, I've been doing these movements and this is what's happening. And then you just tap into that inner guidance. And is this right? Do I need to chart a new trajectory? And so once a year, no matter what, and it would be good in your relationships too, right? And you might want to do it more than once a year in a relationship, but everything that we're doing, there's a time to stop and reflect and see, because what is it they say is the picture of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. So that's why it's good to reassess, right? That when you do that, you're showing up fully for what you're wanting to do, who you're wanting to become, who you are, and then you take inspired action, right? And then every step you take, no matter how small, especially the small ones, the unnoticed ones, move you so much closer to your dreams. You feel me? All right, now I'm going to go ahead and grab the journal prompt. Let me see here. Let me take this off and see if that helps. All right. So our journal prompt is, where in my life am I being called to take action? So this is a good day to do some inner reflection on just where you are in your life. And if there's something in your mind that has been it pops in every now and then you just like, I don't have time for that. Or I need to learn something else first. I need to confer with someone to see if it's a good idea. All of those things are calling you to take action. Now, that doesn't mean that you adopt it and you run. It means you look at it and you evaluate and you see, what is it about that really intrigues you and gets your heart going, right? What is it that's got you thinking about it? Because if we can think about it and it's coming in our mind, we have the potential for that to be true. We just have to evaluate. What do we want? What are our values? Does it align with our values? And then we take action, right? So When you look at your life and what's being called for you to take action, you write it all down, everything that comes up. And then you really tap into that inner guidance, that flow. And then when you do that, you ask yourself, what is one inspired step I can take today that aligns with these goals and my visions? And then you do that. Because we don't get where we want to go by standing still. Remember, the only thing constant in life is change. So you cannot choose to do nothing and stay exactly where you are. That's a choice in itself, right? You either choose to keep going forward and taking inspired action and learning and growing, just like a relationship with your romantic partner. If you get to the place where, okay, we've signed the deal, we're married now, I don't have to do anything. That's not going to last long, right? Because it doesn't stay the same. It starts reverting. It starts disconnecting. And so when you're not taking an action, you're actually disconnecting from your dream. So, where in your life are you being called to take action? And what is one inspired step you can take today that aligns with your vision and your goals? So I'm going to go back. Oh, beautiful. I'm going to go back to the affirmation. I choose to show up fully and take inspired action. Every step I take, no matter how small, moves me closer to my dreams. Put that on your index card, the screensaver on your phone, your sticky notes. Put it somewhere that today you are reminded that it is your choice. Nobody else's, yours. So everything is in your control. It's whether or not you're taking the oars, putting the motor on the boat, or if you're just sitting there being tossed by the wind and the waves. You get to choose. And then our journal prompt. And as I always recommend, get out your notebook, your journal, put down the date, the affirmation, the journal prompt. Say it out loud with some feeling and emotion. And then set a timer for 10 to 15 minutes and just sit in complete silence with that going through your subconscious mind. You don't have to keep repeating it. You just focus on your breath. Quiet your mind. And when I say quiet your mind, I'm not saying that you are blank slate, right? What I'm saying is that you're going to have chatter going on in your head, which is normal. It's what happens to everybody. And as soon as you recognize that the chatter of what's for dinner, what's for this, what's for that, what do I need to do next, all of that chatter starts, you just focus on your breath. So when I say get into the silence, what I'm really talking about is not having an external thing coming in. So you're not listening to an affirmation, you're not listening to music, you're not listening to someone talk. You are in your space, quiet. And then as your mind chatters, you start focusing on your breath, breathing in, breathing out, just being still. And as you quiet that chatter, you get tapped into this inner knowing, this inner guidance that makes such a huge difference in tapping into answers. You can use this anytime. You have something big coming up and you're not sure what to do, get into the silence. Write it down on a piece of paper, what it is that you're wanting to do, you're wanting to make a decision about. Write it as a powerful question, not a disempowering question. And then tap into the silence for 10 to 15 minutes and just allow that inner guidance give you direction. So, where in your life, when we get back to our journal prompt, not the issue that you're trying to solve, but where in my life am I being called to take action? And the thing is the thing, whatever it is that comes up from your subconscious mind, your inner guidance, your God voice, whatever comes up, write it down. No judging, no saying, oh my gosh, that sounds way too big. I don't think that's an action I should ever take. Maybe it seems too small. Maybe it seems like I don't know enough. Whatever it is, write it down anyway. Because if you can think it in this moment, it is a possibility. Doesn't mean it has to be come to fruition, but you want to know what your inner guidance, your God voice is trying to talk to you about. And once you get all of that information, however many things that show up, then you ask yourself, what is one inspired step I can take today that aligns with my goals and my visions? Just one. You only have to take one, because what happens is you take that first inspired action and another inspired action will come to you. And it's those movements that you celebrate big time, right? Because it is all a beautiful symphony of stories, of inspires, right? I'm checking here just to make sure I'm not missing anything. So I want to ask you, are you willing to play with this one a little bit today and to see what kind of inspired action, where in your life you're being called to take action? Are you willing to play with this a little today? And I know it takes a few minutes sometimes for this to populate. And so, well, right now I have you, Carrie, in the Facebook group responding with me. I know I have some people watching, and if you don't want to get in good, Carrie. If you don't want to get in the conversation, that's quite all right. You can go back and answer things in the perfect time. Oh, yes, good, Carrie. But if you're just wanting to watch and not participate, no worries, no worries. I'm just glad you're here. And what I want to do now is I want to invite you. I talked about it, I guess, yesterday, maybe the day before. I don't remember, but I just joined this amazing challenge. It's called Find Your Story. And I'm only on Dare 2, and I'm already blown away with the things that it's bringing up in me to help me find my story. And I would love to invite you guys, everybody that's here, to join me, because we can still get in. And so I'm going to share the link. Lucy told you about it. Okay, so are you joining? I'd love to have you join and come into my cohort if you're open to that. But let me grab my link real quick so that I can share it. Hold on. And I have a cohort that let's see. Let me put this in here. Okay, I'm going to share this in the comments, and if you would love to join my cohort, I would love to have you. And all you have to do is join with that, and then I will get notification, and I will add you into the WhatsApp group. We are just starting because I had someone that just joined yesterday. And so I'll be helping catch everybody up. We're going to have a little celebration party of getting started, even though we're on I think Dare 3 came out. I haven't done that one yet. And so it'd be perfect time. Let's see, it's $47 if I'm remembering right. And Angie, I would love to have you check it out. You can grab that link and you can check it out and make a decision for yourself because it explains it a lot more. But it's going to be so amazing. And I'm going to be there with you every step of the way. I have Christine is my one of my partners in crime, and she's actually in the group, and we're going to facilitate this. So there'll be two of us that will be helping to inspire you and encourage you and lead you, hold you accountable. Because the thing is, sometimes like the first dare is, or I think it's the pre-dare, is what are your excuses of why you don't show up when it comes to doing things like this? Or what would be your excuses if you start, what keeps you from moving forward? And mine is always time. And when I went and looked at everybody else's, 90% of the people, it was time constraints. It was like, I get busy. And then you just have to decide, how much do you want this? And how much do you want this movement in your world and in your life? Because it is very self-reflecting, and it is helping you to get the story of you out of your head and your heart. And we're going to learn so much about how to actually get our story out into the world even more. I think this would be amazing for you, Carrie, if you decide to jump in and do it. I'm telling you, I would love to have you in the group. And the same for you, Angie. I think it would be amazing for you. It will actually shift your vibration and your energy in a whole new way. And you can't be the same after. It is like, there's no way. It's that, you remember the thing about, if you decide to do nothing, it's not that you don't change, it's that you start reverting back. So I'm not saying you have to do this, but I'm saying it will definitely change your life to go through this process. And so I would love to have you guys and anybody that's watching. I would love to have you join as well. Because there's still time. I think we're able to have people join within the next couple of days. So definitely look at the link, make a decision for yourself. If it feels like that would really be beneficial to you, and secretly it will, then definitely grab the link, go in there, get it. There's a workbook that you work through. There's daily videos that you get that explain things. And then there's the group, the Facebook group that you go in, and everybody in there has the same goal of finding their story. And as part of your collaborative team, Christine and I will be going in and looking at your videos and helping to encourage you. And then if we see that you're not doing your videos and you said you really wanted to do this, we will actually, reach out and say, hey, what's going on? How can we help? And so we've got you, I promise. And so I would love to have you there. And I don't know if you can you see the link and grab that link, Angie, just to check it out? Let me know for sure. And anybody that is watching the replay, put #replay and join in the conversation. Grab the link, check it out. I'm just so overjoyed and excited with just even the beginning of it. That feels so life-changing is all I can say. I'm already amazed. So doing this changed what I wanted to do with some of the other things that I have going on in my life. So it is a perfect pivot to give you a new perspective. Got it. Okay, good, Angie. Thank you. So just check it out. And if you have some questions or something, you can, we are connected on Instagram as well. So you can send me a message and I can answer anything that I can. But I think most of it is in the link that you go to. It has a big description of it. And George, who's the facilitator of this, he actually was part of getting Wicked on the screen. And he has such an amazing gift. And what he's doing now is 20 years in the making of getting to the place where he can do this with everyone. So definitely, at least check it out and see what your thoughts. And if you tap into the inner guidance, it'll tell you if it's the right thing for you or not, right? That inner guidance will lead you on the right path every single time once you tap into it. All right, so show up, take action, and watch the magic unfold. So thank you guys for being here, and I love working with you and seeing you. I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. And this time I'll promise I'm going to do everything I can to be here on time. Have an amazing day filled with magic. Mwah. Love you guys.